The standard academic view, as you've pointed out, is that consciousness is an emergent property. It's epiphenomenal. Essentially, brains make consciousness. And there's a certain level of appeal to this. We know how late-stage Alzheimer's, multiple personality disorder, I think now it's called dissociation, autism spectrum disorder, brain damage, substance abuse, all of these have very relevant consequences on conscious experience, obviously. So there's that appeal. Why is this debate still being had? I mean, hasn't modern brain science put this problem to bed, so to speak?
I think I can go further on your list. I mean, you drink alcohol and something happens with your consciousness. And somebody puts a bullet in your head and the lights seem to go off. Obviously, there is a correlation, very tight correlation between what we call physical brain states and inner experience. There is no denying that. If I take a drug, a psychoactive drug, something will happen to my inner life. If I undergo brain surgery, something will happen to my inner life. The problem is that we make a jump from a empirically undeniable correlation to a particular arrow of causation. We say, well, this correlation is because the physical is generating the experiential. Never mind, we start from the experiential and the physical is a theoretical model. So let me give you another interpretation that is completely consistent with this correlation. I say that your physical body, including your brain and its activity, is what your conscious inner life looks like from the point of view of another individual consciousness, or your own if you look down into your body. In other words, the body is not the cause of consciousness. It is the extrinsic appearance, the image of conscious inner life from across a dissociative boundary. But that's more detail. We are not at a point where I can introduce this and make sense of it in one single answer. But for me, physicality is what conscious inner life looks like from a certain perspective. That applies to us. My conscious inner life looks like a physical body with a brain and brain activity from a certain perspective. And I would say the inanimate universe as a whole, the inanimate physical universe as a whole, too, is what universal conscious inner life looks like from our perspective. So I would even define matter as matter is the extrinsic appearance of conscious inner life from across a dissociative boundary. Forget this latest detail. I just want to say it in a complete way, but it will not make sense at this point.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, I'm keeping up. That's good.
So for me, when you undergo surgery and a surgeon goes there with a scalpel and cuts into your brain, that scalpel, that brain are the images of an interaction between two processes in consciousness. The image of one is the scalpel. The image of the other is a brain. And the result of that is also a conscious process, what you will feel like after your brain is cut into. But you see, all these images are not the cause of consciousness. They are not outside consciousness. They are just what the interaction of conscious processes look like. When I take a psychoactive pill that influences my conscious inner life and my experience of the world and of myself changes, well, that pill too is material. And since matter, under my interpretation, is what a mental process looks like, the act of swallowing that pill is what an interaction between two mental processes looks like. And of course, that interaction will have an effect on my conscious inner life. Of course, it's a mental interaction. But from a certain perspective, it looks like a physical pill being swallowed by a physical mouth belonging to a physical body.
Hey guys, did you like this video? You know what to do. And if something I mentioned today resonated with you, click one of them cards on this screen. I have lots of related content sure to interest you. Thanks as always for your views, and we'll see you next time.